You're watching I Am Ultimate's coverage of the 2021 Ultimate Canada Invitational. Last game, it's the mixed final. Vancouver's Red Flag taking on Winnipeg's Pretty Boys and Handsome Girls. Both teams undefeated heading into this tournament. And a lot of people have been saying Red Flag's looking good, but PBHG is undefeated as well. So here we go. Josh Kerr set to collect for PBHG, one of the captains of this squad. It's going to send her to Will Conrad, who does a little bit of coaching for U20s as well. Jimmy DePage, guarded by Guo, Red Flag captain. Chachinov saw his sibling earlier with Fusion. Chachinov throwing up a big huck. Guo's going to snack on that for the block, and he's going to call a foul while he's at it.
No call.
No call, actually, and the game's going to continue. Up high for Zelmot. Kalafis Mott there, and looking for her sister Zelmot. Both previously playing for Vancouver Traffic, who got the second bid.
And that was a cannon. That throw low and Lady. The pace of this game, high to start. It is a gold medal match.
Great pressure defense from Red Flag. Gets them another block. And Red Flag coming out hot on defense. A lot of young players there, Tushar, from what we've been told. So look out for some excitement.
We had the opportunity to stream 2 of Red Flag's games yesterday, and we saw that they love to huck. They are ready to run. And they are focused.
Kalafis Mott looking for a dump. Ling, can he get free? Able to swing free on Will Conrad.
And there's a pick call up the field. These teams will reset. Red Flag defeating Union to get into this game.
PBHG defeating Quest, who you just saw in the third place game. Union getting the bronze medal. All the way to the far side, just too high for Zelmot, number 48, and it's going to be PBHG disc.
And 2 of the throws to this side have sailed a little bit.
Conrad looking deep. A lot of players in the area. Coming down with his Page in the midst of a bunch of players. Chachinov, who has played for another team that's been in this tournament, Toronto's Grand Trunk previously. Originally from Winnipeg and is playing for PBHG. PBHG had started on offense if you're keeping track at home. Going up line to Conrad. Dorsep looking for options. Bobbled and doesn't come down with it as Galvage.
And defensive pressure causing quite a few of these turns. There is a foul call.
Looks like actually an injury call there, Tushar.
Injury substitution.
Rempel, one of the captains, another captain of this PBHG squad coming onto the field. We'll see if there is, in fact, a foul call. Sheila Quintos, Glenn Ford, Justin Lee, and Sandra Hansen are your observers. Glenn Ford, the head observer for this matchup.
And Katie Wong coming in as a substitution for number 20 on Red Flag, who elected also to change.
Kalafis Mott, yeah, one of the Mott twins.
And that's a turnover, no foul called. Katie Wong, one of the captains on this Red Flag roster.
Katie Wong with the disc now. The lefty finds Choi. Swing all around to Andrew Ling. Red Flag moving with some pace here, looking for that first break. Zhu finds Ling up the line. Katie Wong bursting to the front cone, and she'll get there coming off the bench. And Red Flag gets the break to start off. They're excited. The flag's coming out.
And 1-0 Red Flag start with a break. in this finals game from UPI in Ottawa. This is the UCI 2021 Senior Finals Masters last weekend, and this will close out the Canadian Ultimate season for this year, and it's an exciting conclusion to what has already been an exciting and remarkable tournament. Glad to be back playing Ultimate, participating in Ultimate. Theo won, commentating with me, but Theo having indicated that he's basically retired from Ultimate.
Well, I just podcast about it on the Huck and A podcast, so you can check that out on any podcast platform or find us on social media. And,
whereas I am continuing to play Ultimate.
Yeah, keep playing.
Now I'm going into Grandmasters division, or in Grandmasters division, and feeling probably healthier than I have in 12 to 13 years of Ultimate.
Do like to hear that. We got the ratio right now, 4 female matching players on the field. Red flag set to pull. Janelle Siwa out there.
Siwa, primarily handler.
Yeah, a lot of these players having played TC. I'm just looking at the roster here. There's maybe like 6 that haven't there, Tushar, either U20s or U24. So great to see. It's going to be center to Conrad again, and looked off first. Suzuki, great coverage.
Immediate pressure. Allowed full coverage to happen from all the players.
Conrad looking, skying up was Page, but getting the block is red flag, and they're going to try to go up 2-0 here, bursting out with energy. It's whichever team can really come out with energy, especially in a shortened game to 13 with 70 minutes as the hard cap. Siwa finds Ewan. Been told Markham's own. Jake Ewan. A few of these players having played for Traffic in the past. This is a pick downfield. Sophia Chan, the one who just threw it, being one of them. A lot of UBC representation as well. Makes sense seeing as they're from Vancouver. Chan finds Siwa. Siwa might be quarterback in this D-line offense. Great effort from Page. Foul called. Ewan was hit as he tried to throw it there.
Disc coming back. No contest.
Spirited action here in the mixed final. Ewan. Back to double 4. Siwa. A little inside break. That's going to pop up. Can Suzuki get there? Feet in bounds. Red flag, doorstep of another break. Big fakes making Conrad fall down. Siwa inside. Chachinov bats it right to the hands of Suzuki. Excuse me, Page bats it to the hands of Suzuki. Post free is Katie Wong for the score. And red flag up 2 breaks early. An unfortunate bounce there if you're a PBHG fan. But 2-0 is the score right now. Early.
And those diving defensive efforts are definitely preventing immediate scores, as red flag is making some strong cuts. And there's a lot of luck in this game, and sometimes it falls into the right hands as a timeout is called at 2-0 in this game. So Theo, we've just started this. It's the last game.
Oh, yeah. Only game going on right now.
Let's talk a little bit about what has excited you most over these last few weeks.
To be honest, it's just seeing people from different places. You got Vancouver, saw some people from Halifax, Salty. Spawn is out here from Fredericton, New Brunswick. Pretty cool to see. So just a lot of different faces and familiar faces and some new ones as we see PBHG walking to the line with 4 female matching players. Elliot Wong making his first appearance here for PBHG. Looking like a bit more of a D set here. So we'll see what they can do. Jong into the line is William Medwick, as well as Liam Sawatsky.
We are seeing some some deeper threat options in this mixed game than we have seen from other mixed teams or mixed games that we've seen here. But red flag ready for them and putting a lot of pressure on.
PBHG on offense here. Needing a hold, definitely don't want to go down 3-0 just because we said just the shorter games out here. Thanks for joining us on IM Ultimate's coverage. After this point, we'll let you know how you can donate and where that could go.
And a deep pull.
Yeah, lots of trouble here. Sawatsky able to come down with it. Medwick. Looking deep for Sawatsky. Ling in coverage. He's able to come down with it. Rempel. Looking for dump options. Great guy from Medwick, and he'll find Sawatsky for the score. So their D-line gets it done, folks.
And that, after that deep pull and red flags coverage, to be able to break out and then huck from your own line 3/4 of the field shows that PBHG is playing very much the same game and same pace of game as red flag and aren't being dictated to. This might be the first challenge that red flag actually sees throughout this tournament because their other games have not been as close. They've been able to pull away or create a margin.
We get a chance to look at Red Flag's offensive line here. And you might recognize one player specifically in number 24, Peter Yu. He had one of the most amazing hand blocks in the 2019 CUC Open Final. Do you remember that, Tushar?
I was there for that. It was incredible. That game changer.
That was, absolutely. As we see Elliot Wong to pull, the University of Manitoba alumni. I believe he won a national title with Manitoba, the CUC title. Just center of the field. Creed. High throw, it's knocked down. Page. He's going to go deep right away. A chance for a break. Can he get there? That's going to go out of bounds, but don't mind the look there, Tushar.
Don't mind the look at all and the aggression that's there in this game. Both teams showing that they can huck and they're willing to huck and that they're willing to go hard.
Yeah, out there, Zoe Luke. Ryan Hoy on the offensive line. Some of them having played Blackfish, some of them playing Shippos, Traffic, a lot of different mix of players, but all having played high-level club there. Kurahashi, one of the youngest players on the team. Youngest female player on the team. Going deep. Looking for DeBrew. And Page again, his second block of this point. He's getting up there.
It's a good battle in the air. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense when you can cut on the unders and go deep. But they're responding well on both sides.
Medwick to pick up for PBHG. He got the assist earlier. To Sawatsky. Around Elliot Wong. A little bit stagnant there, finding Kerr. PBHG trying to get that break tied up. They did start on offense, though, so there still would be down a break even if they do score this point. Page loading up a flick, looking for Medwick. He's sprinting, chased by DeBrew just outside the end zone. Got to tap it in. He's going to go high release flick to Elliot Wong for the score and the break. Second assist for Medwick. And it's tied 2-2.
2-2. Exciting matchup, showing plenty of capability from both teams and plenty of opportunity. And this is the important thing as part of this game, is to create those opportunities.
Speaking of opportunities, looks like their offensive line is going to get their second chance at it. Similar players going out there. We got the coaches, Jonathan Heen, Alex Lamb. Even just looking at the roster and just looking at the sideline, Red Flag has a lot of players, brought a huge bench out here to Vancouver. And that's great to see. I see Andrew Ling coming out there for this offensive point as well for Red Flag.
Andrew Ling, also a familiar name. Some of his history, Theo.
He played TC U24s back when it was in Australia, mixed. And then he's played for Grand Trunk as well. Played for Blackfish in years past when he moved out over into Vancouver.
Speaking with him yesterday, and he's indicated that this team actually practices unlike other Vancouver mixed teams and is establishing itself and probably running for more than a short period of time, as in they want to keep playing together.
Sounds like also just a group of good friends, I should say, off the field. Katie Wong out there, Jasmine Chan, Serena Tam, Ryan Hoy, Peter Yu, Andrew Ling out on this offensive point, as well as Nao DeBrew. Guarded by Sawatsky on the mark. Rahashi. Looking deep. Coming down with it is DeBrew. Big go-go gadget arms to snag that one out of the air. Red flag. Big score. The bench excited. Horns honking there. They don't want to stay out in the weather.
It's a great finals atmosphere. At the fields, let's take a look at the O-line.
Galvez, Page, Zoo. Chachinov's out there just jogging to the line now. As well as Will Conrad. Casey Hunt, number 5, which is last on the line there. So hard to see too, Tushar, when they're covering their numbers on the line. That makes it a little bit more difficult. Number 98, Maddie Schwartz, sandwiched there between Page and Will Conrad. Janelle Sewell to pull for red flag.
And we may see a zone.
Oh, you're predicting a zone here.
Coming down at this time. Just to change things up. And
Conrad finds Chachinov. Coming down with an injury right there is Nicholas Choi. Another one of these players that has played for Vancouver's Blackfish.
And while we get a moment to look at this, it does look like a junkie zone with 2 unders, mid unders on this side, perhaps a taxi as well on the reset.
Yeah, Andrew Ling coming in. And the chat is correct. He is a national champion with the 2016 Grand Trunk team that defeated Winnipeg's General Strike. So shout out to those former teammates watching in the audience. Galvez finds Maddie Schwartz, guarded by Zella Mamat. Pig fake from Zoo. But not much downfield action, and Page decides to strike deep after there was very little movement from the cutters. Conrad looking deep, and no one's seemingly going for PBHG, and that'll be one of the easiest blocks Kevin Tong will get.
I think he saw Chachanov, especially with Tong coming in on their mark. And
Siwa's going to power a backhand. That's going to be way short, knocked down by Casey Hunt.
And the breeze picked up right there at that point, too.
A tough contested throw and getting the area. Zelmont and Page going to call a foul. See what gets called here. Talking to the observer, Justin Lee. And if you're just tuning in, you're watching I Am Ultimate's coverage of the mixed final 2021 Ultimate Canada Invitational between Winnipeg's PBHG, otherwise known as Pretty Boys and Handsome Girls, versus a new team in Vancouver, Red Flag. Exciting action here in the mixed final. Great results earlier with Toronto Sixers winning, and then Traffic coming in second place, and then Furious taking down the gold, and Mephisto getting a bid to WUCC if they choose to accept. We'll see what the call is here from Justin Lee. It is a foul, upholds the call, and Matthew Page going to keep the disc. He's been working really hard in the deep space for PBHG. A tall body that's going to be very important in the rest of this game. Well, great coverage on Conrad. Chachanov. He's going to go with a bladey flick, looking for Schwartz. Ambitious throw there. And it's going to be a turnover. Heard some oh my's from the audience down below.
I could see what he was looking at there and why he thought that would have worked out.
Maybe floatier, though, you think? Or no?
I think there definitely was some sort of connection that would normally have occurred between those two players.
Well, high throw, snagged by Ling. Deep stack, it looks like, for Red Flag. Kalimot with it. Got to distinguish when there's siblings on the field. Tong. Call downfield. See where the disc comes in or what stall count with observer Glenn forward. Coming out of stall one, Tong. Len goes up line, gonna have to look for a reset. See what burns her matchup. She is a big thrower for this BC squad. Big backhand fake on Galvez. Goes up line. Len stands out of the air. Break opportunity here for a Red Flag. Burning her defender in the dust is Zelmont, but should be a call here. Left Maddie Schwartz on the ground.
They're going to go to the observer with regards to what occurred there. If there was a foul and that call is overturned, it will be a point. If not, it'll go back to the throw.
Hear the wind pick up a little bit on our mics. Sheila Quintos out there. Sandra Hansen's contested. So no observer call there from at least what I see from the signals. And Ling's going to keep the disc. Mott's going to go back to her position. Disc is in. Ling going to go with an ambitious blade. He'll find his receiver, Julia Zhao. And Red Flag going up once again. A little back and forth action. And we love to see it here in the mixed final.
Exciting times, good movement. We have seen some turnovers over the last few points as these teams have really dialed it in. But you can see they're quite evenly matched, quite athletic.
We're back here. PBHG needing a critical hold, and it sounds like some of their D-line players are back on, but they were the ones who actually were able to generate the first hold of this game for the Winnipeg group. So they are back out there. Right to left, Hillary Rempel, Casey Hunt. William Medwick, Matty Schwartz, Liam Sawatsky, Elliot Wong, and Lou Galvez for PBHG.
Some of the same players as well from the previous line
For
staying
red flag,
on.
yeah. Andrew Ling, I haven't seen him come off that much. He's been an important part of this team. Goes with a big hot Guo out there. The Mott twins, Siwa. And Kevin Tong.
And a
Pick
pick
downfield.
call with a deep vertical stack. And good coverage on with this somewhat junky setup once again, where we can see two defenders at the front of the stack.
Yeah, definitely a junky look, and PBHG needs to identify than they do with the blade to Hunt. Schwartz is going deep, but Hunt saw it too late. Medwick. He's going to launch it for Wong. Tough grab, and Mott in the area. Calling Mott this time. And that gets the Vancouver Furious George group that's still here pretty excited.
There's plenty of heads-up play, and we saw that yet in yesterday's game as well, is that when the disc goes up, red flag players get under it.
It was a tough throw to kind of read as well. Don't think Medwick had much, and that's why he had to kind of chuck that up. We saw one of those throws work out for them as the turnover happens. A turnover like that, a big throw like that high stall count throw worked out for Furious as they defeated Mephisto earlier today in the Open Final.
It seems like Furious practice with those high stall count throws.
Maybe they do. I know maybe they can hear us there close sideline, but into the action, Elliot Wong looking for Galvez, and Zelmont this time getting involved, and the Mott twins making their mark all over on defense. End zone called. Siwa. Guo finds Tong for the break. And red flag scores again as Tong spikes the disc to the turf. Alex Lamb, the coach, quick to congratulate him as red flag goes up 5-2. And PBHG searching for answers right now in this final.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to find something soon. It's they are getting there, but when they've been taking their deep shots, they've been finding red flag players under that. It worked out in the first few points when they had a tall player going deep. But when they've just been putting it a little bit short, that hasn't been working out at all. So they have to figure that out. They have to keep stretching, otherwise red flag is going to play harder under and cause those stall 9 deep throws. They have to open this game up.
Yeah, right now you're in that point, especially in the shortened game we keep mentioning on the streams here, where it's not necessarily the point of no return, but definitely a point of feeling really overwhelmed if you're PBHG. Maybe they're already feeling that now, but going down 6-2 would be huge. A huge deficit that's tough to overcome. But we've seen some comebacks like we did with Furious earlier today, so you never know.
Now, all of these teams at the pace that they're playing have plenty of capability. As that poll goes off, we're just focusing on the receivers.
Chochinov going to take it. Drives off the disc as well to Medwick. Schwartz again on offense. Hunt out there as well. Page. Guarded by Jesse Watt. Toronto's own now lives out in Vancouver, attending UBC. Rempel looking for Medwick. Nice little grab there. Chochinov guarded by Goodkey, the former Furious player. They're going to go over the top. Lots of players in the area. It's going to fall into the hands of Medwick, but some players colliding.
Some collisions, and hopefully the players are all right. That was caught for the point, and the players are getting up. And it looks to be a point as is called. But you could see the red flag defense collapse around that disc as it went up. Significant pressure and a timeout potentially being taken here. It appears red flag is taking the timeout as they have been playing some of the same lines again and again.
Yeah, PBHG looking to regroup here. They got the point that they needed there, making it 5-3. Tushar, if people enjoy the streams and what's been happening, can you tell them what they can do to show their support?
So we've had an incredible amount of support throughout the weekend in terms of viewers and thank yous. And it's great to see that the community is active across both of these weekends that we've had. And we want to keep the community connected, but we also want to support the wider community, especially wider communities in Canada. So if you're watching on imultimate.com/live, you'll notice 2 links on that page where we ask that if you're able to and willing to donate to 2 charities. One is FN Caring, First Nations Caring. The other is the National Truth and Reconciliation Center. For those that have already supported throughout the weekend, I'm sure that everyone really appreciates it. And for those that, even in posterity or later on, would like to, you would definitely be supporting what we at I Am Ultimate are supporting in the wider community. Thank you, Theo. Thank you for being here. You've come in for 2 weekends now in a row. Last weekend we did 4 games in a row. This weekend, 5 in a row. Maybe someday I'll convince you to do the 6 or 7 in a row.
I'm ready to catch some Z's when I get back to the good old T-Dot here, but right now we got more mixed final to bring you. 5-3 the score. Elliot Wong to pull for the Winnipeg group.
And that red flag player still receiving some physical therapy and treatment on the sideline.
Koji Suzuki there. This is going to be centered to Sam Creed. Similar O-line to before for red flag. They're going to isolate into Katie Wong. One of the other former traffic players. Low throw can't be picked up by Peter Yu. PBHG, break opportunity. Wong. Fires it down. Looking Huck. Miscommunication with Page. Diamond Burchuk looking there. Lady Huck looking for Wong. Great throw from Peter Yu as the Furious boy is pretty excited about that. Dancing to the end zone is DeBrew. And red flag gets the hold. Wong to DeBrew.
And Wong with how many points in this game? 2 points and an assist.
It's got to be at least 3 now. We just marked another one. DeBrew is a young gun, we've been told. Born in 2003, Tushar, playing or being selected to be on the TCU 20 team, playing for Vancouver's Eclipse as well. The bountiful junior system they have there. So some young guns out here for red flag.
And we mention it often, these young guns, because when typically we started playing, you didn't have as many juniors programs and young players playing at this high level, in elite level almost. Well, actually, our elite level because they're TC players. And so it's a bit of a surprise, but that shows how much has been built within these communities and across Canada in order to support and nurture the next generation of Ultimate players, despite how much us Masters and GM players don't want to leave the field.
Hey, don't lump me in that category yet.
Well, Theo, you're going to have to play somewhere because we only have players on the stream commentating.
Oh, in that case. You're in tough here as Andrew Ling is set to pull. Ling, Zelmont, Janelle Siwa out there. Kalimot. See if I can get the rest of the jersey numbers for you. Kevin Tong, Edward Guo. For red flag, along with Julia Zhao. Chachanov finds a Rempel. Big poach off here. Melt called. Rempel. Kerr guarded by Link, gets it underneath. Finds a Rempel. That was a high stall count there. Siwa was poaching off, giving a free reset. But these cuts are being defended so hard by red flag as Schwartz gets it off a poach from Zelmont. And they've been poaching a lot off of some of these female players for PBHG, and it's coming back to burn them right now. Here goes break side. Pick called.
And the Mott Twins on the right side of your screen on defense will be trading players.
And there's a poach in the end zone. And big flying block is Edward Guo, drawing some O's from the crowd. He had that red the whole time. Looks like he even baited that throw right there, Edward Guo. See if I go backhand, and that's going to go nowhere. Page with the block. PBHG, you need this hold. Popping it out to space. Too far for Chachanov.
And red flag players calling for a potential timeout, but Andrew Ling to pick up.
Runs up to the line and calls a timeout. And Tushar, with that, we're going to take a timeout so we can regroup from this exciting mixed final and be right back.
Coming out of this timeout, Andrew Ling will be picking it up and going into match defense with lots of spacing.
I like the timeout call, especially for red flag here. Trying to get out of half. Guo looking for Kalimot. Hunt gets the block, but you got to catch your D's, as they say. PBHG, you get another chance.
At the pace that they're working at, it can be difficult. You're just trying to get a piece of the disc because you're
Zelmont flying in for the block. And it is a Mott highlight reel right now in this mixed final.
Siwa to pick it up.
Siwa guarded by Zhu. A tall handler is something you always need on a team, and she towers over a lot of her marks. Zhao. And Schwartz comes back with a block of her own.
This is a great back and forth game right now.
Tit for tat, block for block. I like it. Looking deep for Hunt. Kalimot in the area. And Tong in there to make sure it doesn't come down as well.
And you could see that when it went up, anyone who was available was there. This has been a long point. They needed that timeout to kind of catch their breath a little bit, recharge, and now they're going. But one of the Mots is taking an injury.
Yeah, Collie Mott there. So we'll see who comes on. It's going to be, look at the numbers, Katie Wong.
And there's a potential second injury as well.
Yeah, both Motts coming off the field. So we'll see who comes in her stead.
And with these injury substitutions, there will be the opportunity for each team,
Yep.
the other team as well, for equivalent set of substitutions.
Diamond Burchuk coming on and Shiriwa coming on for red flag.
And disc now back in play.
Another break opportunity, especially for half. This is huge. Either going to be 7-3 or 6-4. Wong.
And
Just slips out of her hands, and that's just a cold-blooded turnover right there. And PBHG.
Even on the fake, there was a lot of power on that.
You're right, absolutely. And red flag now. Excuse me, PBHG on the doorstep of the red flag end zone. Floating it out. Guo had a flying block earlier on that same exact matchup. Going around. Page. Galvez. Page slipping. Looking for options, and Guo just going to get the block thrown right to him. That's one of the easier blocks you're going to get. And things not coming easy for PBHG right now. Red flag turning up the defensive intensity. They've been really impressing throughout this tournament. Tong going deep. Backhand fakes is going to send him underneath. Great grab. Shiriwa. Wong. On that far sideline, getting it over to Ling. Red flag going to be patient, and Guo, I think, looking upfield before he even had a chance to catch it. And every ultimate player's experienced that at some point, right, Tushar?
Absolutely. On multiple occasions as well.
Chochinov, I think he's looking big huck here. High stall count. Just going to throw.
And once again, a floaty throw, and it's going to be a turnover rather than calling a stall down. As Theo takes a quick break here, he's been speaking all day. He just needs to recharge with a little bit of water. Red flag with another opportunity now. And a timeout called by red flag. Their second timeout of this point in much the same position. Now, we'll be back in a moment. So plenty of conversation in chat of better to save your timeouts for when you're closer to the end zone. Certainly that is a strategy your team can utilize. But in general, it's better to make sure your team has a plan to score the point. And that could happen at any location.
Yeah, I definitely don't like the timeout on a sideline. Middle of the field, I think that's okay, but definitely the UC team sometimes call it on the sideline. I think that's a very not good spot to pick. I know some people have this theory on if you are catching a disc outside the end zone, you should not call a timeout because usually you'll have a player trailing in a one-on-one matchup in a lot of space. So that's a whole other debate for another time. But Red flag coming here. Side stack with Katie Wong looking to be more or less isolated in the middle of the field, along with Shariwa. Excuse me. They're going to find Wong. Their intended initiation cutter. Guo had the drop earlier, hoping to make amends right now and pick downfield. Critical point for both teams, as we said. Could be halftime, especially a break, and starting on offense if you are red flag. So that could really just put the game out of reach at that point. Lane going deep. And she can't come down with it. Great effort, though.
And Enderling made eye contact there as that cut was coming out of the middle of the stack with plenty of deep coverage. This team does have the chemistry to know when their players are going to go.
Tushar, this team actually started last year during the pandemic, so they have been practicing throughout, and I've seen them hard at work. Some rookies, I guess, as well, because they've had just a few players. Blaney throw. Page comes down with it. Gonna float it out for Schwartz. And she'll get the score. PBHG needs that hold, folks. And they get it.
And that's 6-4. PBHG keeping this game going. And red flag forcing high stall count throws. And many times it's paying off for them.
It was reminiscent earlier of Samson Hoy's throw in the final. A high stall count throw that Patrick Church came down with that turned the fortunes for the Monkeys from Vancouver.
Was there any doubt in your mind as to how that game would go?
I'm hesitant to say this because we have a Furious player near our booth right now, but I will say that I did think Mephisto had the game, especially at 8. We're trying to remember that timeline. 8-6. If they had gone that break, it would have been 9-6, and I think that would have been lights out. But, you know, fortunes change, and Furious shows why they are the most successful Open team in Canada. Is that a stretch to say based on CUC results?
Based on CUC results and World's results, it's not a stretch to say that. Certainly Mephisto, excellent in that game and was looking to take it. However, there's a reason you never count Furious out. They're known for doing that, and generally in Vancouver we do see that sort of behavior, where their teams tend to be solid, tend to grind, tend to practice very hard as well.
New centers to Creed. Coming through is Hoy. Seeing the red flag O-line out here. Hoy. Going all the way around. Hoy's going to go around. Popped up throw. Snagged by Peter Yu. Lefty scooper to Wong for the score. And he looks to the crowd. That's how you end a half. It's 7-4. And that is the halftime break. Tushar, let's take a break and we'll be right back here on I Am Ultimate. You're listening to and watching I Am Ultimate's coverage of the 2021 Ultimate Canada Invitational. It's the final game of Sunday. Mixed final. Winnipeg's PBHG versus Vancouver's Red Flag. Vancouver's Red Flag going to be on offense here. Both teams undefeated. The score is 7-4. Not that much time left, Tushar, so they need to get going right away.
Under 20 minutes remaining in this game from a time cap perspective, and I hope it's the last time we talk about time this much in any national level series.
Yeah, we're hoping that it's 90 minutes next time or more, right? That's for sure. I hear what you're saying. The 70 minutes was tough for a lot of teams, I gather, because of just, that momentum that we talked about and how if you go down early, it's tough.
Regardless, everyone understands why it's necessary. Yeah. We packed in, and Ultimate Canada packed in basically a full nationals and world qualifiers bids into a weekend.
And you had teams all the way from Fredericton, New Brunswick, all the way to Vancouver, British Columbia. No Victoria teams out here this time around.
There was a team from St. John's, Newfoundland as well.
Yeah, St. John's, Newfoundland, even further east. Get out there. Come on. I've not been out there yet, so maybe I'll make a trip. Go hang out with a regiment. Creed. Going to start with the disc. High throw. Too high for Wong, and this is what you need for PBHG. Schwartz. A couple goals for them. Chachanov needs to be relaxed here. He's got a loose cannon at times, so we've seen it today. Stuck on the sideline now. They got to get rid of it. Going inside. Will that stay in bounds? And trying to go for the greatest is Chachanov, and it's going to be ruled out. So that greatest won't even be in play. Peter, you will have to take it from the sideline.
And this conversation giving a little bit of rest to the offense as they set up in their horizontal stack with ISO.
I don't really see the third handler right now for Red Flag. It's a little bit muddied right now, and coming underneath is DeBrew. He had a big go-go gadget arms play earlier in this matchup, flying in for the score. Furuhashi, pick called.
Pick called in the middle of the field, good to maintain possession.
DeBrew going deep. He tracks the disc with an amazing catch. He's going to throw it in, looking for his receiver, and it's snacked down. Great block. PBHG gets it back, and they needed that one for sure to stay alive in this final. Diamond Burchuk, big play. Metchuk looking for McLeod on the end zone line. Chachanov is going to catch it. It's a break for PBHG. 7-5. They need that one. And they're fired up. Will Red Flag's same O-line come out? Or will they bring out some new personnel? It's an exciting conclusion to this mixed final in Ottawa, Ontario. UPI Fields. Beautiful facility. Love it here every time I come. We got the scaffolding set up here from Ultimate Canada. Tushar singing in the booth beside me on the ones and twos. Rocking the chat. Rocking the production board, scoreboard, camera, color. I'm Theo Wan here. Want to hear a recap of this tournament? Check out the Huckaday podcast. I'll be coming out this week with my co-host Danny Proby, who came in second place with Traffic. So you can check that out at ultiworld.com/huckinga or on all podcast platforms. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We use Instagram the most. We're not on TikTok like Traffic's TikTok game that we saw earlier. I don't think any team has been able to up Traffic's TikTok game there, Tushar.
It's been quite impressive. Watched it yesterday on how they came up with a new routine and practiced it and delivered on it. It shows it shows the ability for the team to learn something very quickly, as well as builds the team's cohesive structure.
Along with the pole, and Medwig is out there, and Page. They've been really turning up for this PBHG squad, and they're going to need another break. Make it close here. Bumped on the mark, but Yu's going to take it. Goal's going to go deep. Someone's going to need to fill underneath. It's going to be Ling now as a handler, slinging it out to Kurahashi. A young player, but on the World Games applicant pool, which is really exciting for such a rookie or a younger player in the ultimate scene. DeBrew finds Yu. And he's going to go all the way around to Wong, and that's the offense. Red flag needed. Swing it all the way across the field, restoring that 3-point lead.
And that is 8-5. And that is that the third or fourth point for Katie Wong?
That's 4 points right now from my count.
And on chat, we're being asked why Hakane is not on ICQ.
I don't know what that is.
And that in itself is a problem, Theo. And we hope that you will address it on your podcast later this week.
Apparently, we're not on Twitter. We're not active on Twitter, that is for sure. So if you want to add us, you better find us on Instagram. That's where we're at.
Yeah, absolutely the case. But the more glaring issue is ICQ. You're not on TikTok either. So, of course, that's why you wouldn't be on ICQ.
I'll have to Google it later, it sounds like. All right, back to the matchup. Red flag. They're trying to seal things out here with 10 minutes left. 11.
It has been an exciting series of finals as well. Sixers dominating in theirs, showing their strength, and great to see that as well, that particular stream, because we hadn't seen much of them in the tournament.
Yeah, red flag. This is their third stream game, which is really exciting for them. I'm sure a lot of Vancouverites, I think that's what they're called, are excited for that. See you all with the poll.
Looking to roll it.
Conrad on the field again. Have not seen him in a very long time. So he is back out there. Split stack for PBHG. A little zone look here. It's been primarily with their female matching players sticking up in the lane and scuffing up some plays, leaving some poach it players in the area. We see Casey Hunt and Maddie Schwartz poached with only one red flag player in the area. So we'll see what PBHG decides to do with that defensive look. Page comes down with a strong two hands just outside the end zone. Finds Schwartz for another goal for her. And PBHG trying to keep it close right now.
PBHG overloading on the deep, 3-2, and it's paying dividends for them. Of course, the ability for Page to be able to jump 20 feet into the air and match what Red Flag has been doing allows them to take these deep shots. 6-8, Red Flag leads with less than 10 minutes remaining in this game.
Gotta get a break now, though. Gotta get a break now. Right to left on your screen, PBHG. Winnipeg's finest. I love the Winnipeg system and the program, especially in the junior scene. Big shout out to all the program builders. I know William Conrad's part of that. There's a lot more names I could list. And even just the Winnipeg high school scene, Dean Wright, a big name for those in that area that know. And so they've just been turning out a lot of players to end up playing for these high-level Winnipeg teams, and we love to see it. Can they make a run right now?
If you weren't able to catch some of these games, they will be posted later on the This Is Ultimate YouTube channel.
Will it be, and the whole entire day is going to be on the Ultimate Canada YouTube page, correct?
Yes. So the live stream, whatever we've been able to stream aside from that break that we had, the first game will be on Ultimate Canada's YouTube page almost immediately.
Nice. Creed. Big cut. Rahashi looking for Wong. These two have been slicing it up on this offensive line. Going up the line. So we loot for the score. And time starting to run out there, Tushar.
And she was just motoring the entire time. While that disc was in the air to Wong, you could see Zoe Luke. Am I getting that correct?
You are.
Just moving across the field, getting ready for that continuation and point and breaking away from her player. 9-6. The score. And a pretty good atmosphere here at the field still. We're hearing that background noise, the people interacting, talking, enjoying themselves.
There was this atmosphere for the women's final as well, but undoubtedly the largest atmosphere was for the Fierce Mephisto final. And hopefully you can go back and watch that. That was an amazing game and lots of action happening. And so just the atmosphere, even during, I watched the GOAT Phoenix Universe Point, and just everyone noticing what was happening because the cap had gone and everyone just flooding to that side. Really cool community feel, and just good to be back, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you're playing Ultimate wherever you're located right now. We know it's heading into potentially the winter months, so maybe you're playing some indoor league or things like that if your restrictions allow. But red flag trying to seal it right here. Ling with a great pull. Trying to make it 10-6 and bring home the title back to Van City. Conrad. That same poachy look. PBHG has adjusted to it a little bit better. Zoo. Page goes deep, and Conrad's going to look. That's Blady. Two defenders in the area, and Page almost got there, but Kalimot did a great job poaching off her check and making the play.
And Page just clapping his hands, knowing that he should have had it, but that extra defensive pressure forced him to jump just a little bit too early, and he couldn't get the proper grip.
Even just the body in that lane, right, just going to cause some issues for you, so totally understand that. Looking for Suzuki. Kerr can't get there. Great effort, though. Mott. Motions for Guo to come underneath. Goes with a hammer reset, and that's just going to die in front of the feet of Andrew Ling. Conrad is going to go with a flick that's going to stay in bounds. No, it's going to be out of bounds. Greatest. And Guo will snag it. Interesting throw choice from Conrad there. I don't want to say that's the game, but that could be on this ensuing huck. Zelmont. Schwartz falling down in coverage. Zelmont's going to find Suzuki for the break. And it looks like that might be it as red flags excited. They're storming the field and they can smell that gold medal around their neck as this final heads towards its conclusion.
10-6. And good back and forth once again. Saw a lot of pressure on red flag with under 5 minutes to go. And just chatting a little bit about some of the other components of this tournament. A heartbreaker, you got to say, for Phoenix. And in the open division, I mean, we as external viewers to this, we should just fill you in on the tough tournament they had, but yet how strong that program is.
Tushar, you know, my heart breaks for them because they lost on Universe twice, okay? Semifinals to Furious, then again to GOAT after. Oh, just heartbreak. Luckily, they don't have a long drive home. They're here locally. But still, that's got to be tough, a tough pill to swallow. But hey, that's going to fuel their training for next year for sure. That's what we call in other sports like football, locker room material. And that's really going to fuel your training, knowing you can come back stronger than ever. And so hopefully we see that program back. And I know we're going to see these programs back at other national tournaments in red flag. Hopefully they continue, and PBHG has been a few years now, so they've been a program established in Winnipeg, and like that they've established a strong mixed program there. Wong has Medwick slashing underneath. Time is running out on Winnipeg. Medwick going to launch a flick. And skying through, what a play. The Met check, wow.
10-7, excellent job to not only get it, but avoid any sort of body contact. We look for this, that the plays that are made are safe, not just physically spectacular, which would make that doubly impressive.
That was physically spectacular and very safe. So, Nemechek, you got yourself on the highlight reel. But PBHG, you still got more work to do. Less than 3 minutes left.
Yeah, this has been an interesting matchup, and a timeout is called.
Hey, you got the timeouts. You can't take them home with you to Vancouver. You got to use them now. And David Cholich in the chat, a Phoenix O-line player. I know it was hard. It was hard just hearing about it and seeing that. So I know Phoenix will come back stronger. And a lot of these teams, they're going to have some motivation for next year. It was a weird time, right? Some teams had really trained a lot. We saw a lot of Quebec teams, since their restrictions lessened Tushar, they were able to practice a lot more. And we saw some of that benefit. Vancouver as well had a chance to practice. I know Furious even had a big intra-squad scrimmage with a bigger group in 2020 at the end of the summer. So it just depends on where you're from. In Ontario, we had a little bit of a struggle, right? A lot of Toronto teams didn't get going until later just because of the restrictions and certain things that happened.
Yeah, so it's been an interesting year, as anyone could say. I do like that there was the activity, there are plans, and next year, hopefully, there's a bit more smooth sailing. The plan is to continue to run these tournaments as split with Masters and Seniors. TBD as to whether they will be held at the same location, but currently it sounds like Masters might be moving into July.
Whoa, that's like, I know the U.S. does something similar with an earlier Masters tournament. So that's really interesting here. Red flag, you're trying to put it away here on offense. Leave no doubt, as they say. That's Hardcast about to go. Creed finding Kurahashi. And that's blocked. That's going to get the PBHG side excited. Rempel, the captain. But a little too late for PBHG. Trying to get another one on the board. Hammer time. And that's just going to go right to the ground.
And that was an interesting laser hammer that was thrown. No call, but an injury being taken. Potentially? No. Just taking their time.
Hoy. Gonna go down to you. Big backhand fake. It's gonna hit Wong here down the line. The horn goes, last point out in this final, and UCI in general. Tam. Scooping in. Nemechek again with a nice highlight reel play. You got to play this guy a little bit more here. He's going to go with the skying flick to Page for the score. And that's going to end it. 10-8 is the final. Red flag. You are the 2021 UCI champions. If you choose to accept, you are going to WUCC. Congratulations. Tushar, what a tournament.
Thank you very much for the assistance from Ultimate Canada, the volunteers here, the players for showing up, the observers for supporting these games. Theo, for you to make the drive down, 2 weekends, almost close to midnight each. And the viewers at home who've continued to keep us motivated. And I hope we'll motivate Theo and Danny to also consider ICQ as a distribution mechanism.
I have no clue what that is, and I'll find that out later. So Huckina, we're going to be on ICQ, whatever that may be. We'll figure that out. But either way, thanks for tuning in. Drop a like on the video, you know, all that YouTube stuff. But follow I Am Ultimate as well. And see you in a couple of weeks. Ultimate Canada will be streaming it, so keep in touch and stay tuned for that. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Do appreciate it. Catch you later.